Imagine a kingdom that once existed clearly on ancient maps. Travelers wrote about it in detail, empires documented their interactions with it, and some even fought wars against it. And yet, at some point in history, this kingdom didn't just disappear, it was erased. Removed from maps, deleted from archives, stripped from chronicles, as if someone had reached into history itself and cut out an entire civilization. The question is simple but terrifying. What was this kingdom hiding? In the 19th century, early geographic explorers noticed something strange while comparing medieval maps with modern ones. A kingdom called Varasha appeared repeatedly in older sources, complete with descriptions of its architecture, rituals, military strength, and astronomical traditions. But in every newer map, the region where Varasha supposedly stood was left blank. Not conquered, not renamed, just deliberately emptied. This wasn't an omission, it looked like an intentional removal. Archaeologists who studied the region later found that it had an unusually strong magnetic disturbance. Compasses spun unpredictably, electronic devices malfunctioned, and surveying tools failed to give consistent readings. Many dismissed it as a natural anomaly, but others began to wonder if Varasha had been built over something very old and very dangerous. Some researchers suggested the kingdom may have guarded a geological secret, perhaps even an ancient energy source left behind by a civilization far older than we currently acknowledge. Old travel accounts added fuel to the theory. Multiple travelers described the kingdom's almost obsessive relationship with the sky. Buildings were aligned with shadow paths and celestial angles. Certain hills allegedly glowed faintly at night, treated as sacred by the people of Varasha. These descriptions made modern researchers wonder whether the kingdom possessed some form of astronomical technology, or at least knowledge they weren't supposed to have. The most mysterious element, however, was a massive stone structure repeatedly mentioned in early sketches. The central monument of Varasha was described as a towering pillar that emitted a soft glow after sunset. Some claimed it was ritualistic fire, others believed the stones themselves were luminescent. But in 1954, during a restricted military reconnaissance flight, a bizarre photograph was taken of that same region, a huge crater, as if something enormous had been violently removed from the earth. That image is believed to be the last evidence of the structure before it vanished completely. Researchers later called it the Pillar of Light, and its disappearance only deepened the mystery. Why would anyone remove such a monumental structure, and who had the power to do so? Legends describing Varasha's final days speak of the night the sky roared. There was no storm, no earthquake, no invasion, just a deafening tremor that lasted through the night, shaking the land without any natural explanation. When explorers eventually reached the site, they found every settlement abandoned. No bodies, no signs of conflict, no evidence of disease, just a silent kingdom left behind, as if its entire population had vanished in an instant. Not long after, maps were redrawn, documents altered, and Varasha's name disappeared from history. The region was declared a restricted zone, and attempts to research it were quietly shut down or dismissed. It was as if someone wanted the kingdom and everything it once protected to be forgotten. In recent decades, researchers investigating the magnetic anomaly in the region proposed a stunning theory. Varasha may have been constructed directly above an ancient energy source, possibly tens of thousands of years old. This source appeared to align perfectly with geomagnetic lines and corresponded with certain star positions, suggesting it could have been part of an older, forgotten system, perhaps a kind of cosmic marker or conduit left behind by a previous civilization. If true, Varasha wasn't just a kingdom, it was a guardian placed over something immensely powerful. And that raises the real question: was the kingdom erased to protect the world from what lay beneath it? Or was it erased so that a select few could claim that power for themselves? The disappearing structure, the forbidden maps, the magnetic anomalies, they all point toward a secret big enough to rewrite human history. So what was Varasha really hiding? An ancient energy source, a lost technology, or a truth that modern civilization isn't ready to face? Until someone uncovers what truly happened, one thing remains certain: kingdoms don't erase themselves. Someone erased Varasha, and they had a reason.